guys, welcome to today's video. My name is Baylee if you're new here. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram to ask me some questions, so I'm going to be answering those today. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have them all right down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. First question, will you always live in the country? So right now we don't live in the country, but we will be moving out there eventually. And then once we're out in the country, we will always stay out in the country. So yeah. How many bedrooms is the house that you're building? It is 4 bedrooms. Yeah, it's 4 bedrooms, so our master bedroom and then 3 kids' rooms. And then we will also have a loft upstairs, but if we need to add on, we will be able to, because we will be on our own land and Baylee will have built our house, so he's building it in a way that we can add on if we need to. So it'll be 4 bedrooms. My friend Rachel over here on YouTube asked me who my favorite YouTuber is, and yes, it is you. It's the coolest place that I've ever been to on vacation. Probably be Disney World. I went there my senior year and it was so much fun. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, that's, hopefully I have another baby. Stratton in 5 years will be 6, so hopefully we have another little one, maybe one on the way. I hope that, YouTube is going great for us. I hope my family is healthy in 5 years, and I hope that Baylee's business is booming and our marriage is great. And yeah, that's all I just want my family to be healthy, my children to be healthy, and I'll be set to go. Do I think I'll ever go back to work? Probably not. I will definitely not go back to work while all of my children are still out of school. Maybe when they go back to school, I will go back to work. But I also don't want to have to miss out on all of their school activities, their school parties, and all of that. And I want to be here when they get home from school. If your second baby was a boy or girl, what would it be? That's kind of hard, because anytime that I picture us with another baby, it's always a boy. Like when I picture Stratton coming to the hospital meeting his sibling, I always picture he's coming to meet his little brother. But I think even if I did get to choose, I would pick another boy. I would love to have 2 boys and 2 girls, 2 older brothers and little sisters. I think, in the perfect world, that would be amazing. So if I had to choose, I'd probably be another boy, but I would be blessed either way. To follow up on that little baby question, where's the weirdest place you've ever had sex? Well, it was with my now husband, and we were in high school, and it was at the vet clinic. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Do you have just cows or other animals? So the cows that you see in our vlogs are not our cows. Baylee works for an older man, and those are his cows, and Baylee just takes care of those ones. When we move out onto our land, we will have cows, and my favorite animal is donkeys. So we will definitely have a donkey. I already have a girl picked out. She's just waiting until we finalize on all of our land and things like that. And then she will be moving on over. Biggest pet peeve about Baylee? That man takes 3 showers a day, and it is the most annoying thing ever. And when he takes a shower, he floods the whole bathroom because he has so much hair, like on his legs, that he cannot dry off. So he's just tracking wet footprints everywhere, and I hate it. But if he wouldn't take 3 showers a day, then he wouldn't be tracking water everywhere. Something I'll always remember doing with Baylee? I don't know. Probably just like everyday life. Probably, honestly, just like we didn't used to live in the same town, so we'd always be driving. Like he'd either have been staying at my house and we've driven like to the town that we live in now to do something. So it's probably like all the long drives that we used to take together. We just had so many talks and fun times, and so I think those will be some of my favorite memories with him, because now we live together. We don't get to drive alone that often anymore. So I think those are my favorite memories for sure. Favorite dish and favorite alcoholic drink. So, my favorite dish is probably cow pot. Absolutely love it. Cannot go without it. It's my absolute favorite thing. I also really love any like Chinese food or Italian food, but cow pot is my absolute favorite. My favorite alcoholic drink would probably be a cherry limeade or strawberry daiquiri. How many kids do I want? I think I for sure want to have 4. And then, you know, God willing, we have more, then we have more. But for sure, I think I would love to have 4. I am an only child, kind of. I didn't grow up with any of my siblings because I grew up living with my mom, and I am her only child, so I just grew up by myself, and I hated that. So I know I will definitely have more children so that my children can have siblings. But I think I would be content with 4. If we had more, then we had more. Favorite thing to do with Stratton, that would be probably reading. I love to read, and I always wanted to implement that love that I have into him. So I love when he'll read me a book and just climb into my lap and want me to read it to him. That's probably my absolute favorite thing. Do you think you'll always live in Oklahoma? Yes, we probably will always live in Oklahoma. Baylee is not the type of person to move away from his home. I did move away from my home, only about like 30 minutes, but this is the town that he grew up in, and he didn't want to leave, so here we are. If we were to ever move, then I think we would move to Colorado. That's a place that I've always wanted to live. I used to want to go to college there, and if I wouldn't have met Baylee in high school, then I probably would be there now, doing my thing up there. But we live here in a little town in Oklahoma. But if we were to ever move, then I think we would definitely move to Colorado. What's your favorite date night? Probably anything that can get me and Baylee competitive with each other. We're very competitive when it comes to those kinds of things. So like if we're bowling, playing, like going to an arcade, playing like a board game or cards, like that's probably our ideal date night. We love to trash talk each other and see who's better than the other one. So anything that involves being competitive is our jam. How many boys, girls do you want? In a perfect world, you would be able to pick how many and what your gender is of your children. But unfortunately, that's not the case. I would love to have 2 boys and 2 girls. That is the dream. There is actually no girls in Baylee's side of the family. Like on the Wilhelm side, there's no girls at all, so us having girls in the future doesn't seem very likely. But you know, hopefully we will be blessed to have some girls and have another boy. That would be amazing. Did you grow up in Oklahoma? Yes, I did. I lived in like a bigger city by Oklahoma's capital for like almost 6 years, and then I moved with my mom and grew up in a town that only has about maybe 600 people. Favorite hobby besides YouTube would probably be sewing. I love sewing. It's very relaxing in its own way. Like if I'm trying to learn something new, then it's not very relaxing, but if I'm just doing something that I already know, then absolutely love it. I love making burp rags and bibs and baby blankets and all of that. It's one of my favorite hobbies for sure. How long have you and Baylee been dating? So we've been dating for almost 6.5 years. We do still celebrate our dating anniversary even though we're married, because we've been together longer that way than marriage, and once we got married it literally felt no different. So we do celebrate our marriage anniversary, but to me the dating one is just more important to us because that's our longest milestone, and we just don't feel any different since we're married now. So we've been together for 6.5 years, and that's insane to me. Do you all have plans for baby number 2? We do. I think we might try for baby number 2 sometime within this year. I don't know, but right now that's our plan. Timeline for our house to be built. So with everything that's going on in the world right now, our house situations kind of got pushed back, and they're not on our priority list, not on our top priority list at the moment. We still have everything going, and we are still waiting on a closing date for land, but you know, we're not really worried about that right now. So hopefully our house will be done in December, definitely before Christmas, definitely before the end of the year. I just don't know what the exact date will be. Like I said, it's not our top priority, but we'll definitely get it done eventually. How did we come up with Stratton's name? So Stratton's name actually goes along with another name, but it's named after a motor, a lawnmower motor, I'm pretty sure. But Baylee used to be a mechanic. He had a mechanic business. He still does it. His building business is just more important to him right now. So he's always been a fan of that kind of stuff. So his best friend in high school had a baby, and they named their son Briggs. And they always talked about, like, oh, it'd be so cool if you had another boy and you named him Stratton, because that's the motor. It's called Briggs and Stratton. So that's where his name came from. It's not surprising to any of us that is his name, because it is named after a motor, but it just flows perfectly. It fits him perfectly, and we already knew that all of our children's names were going to start with S's, so that's why he wanted to name him, and I let him. He came up with the boy names, and I came up with the girl names. What kind of work did I do before having a baby? So I got my CNA license when I was in high school, the summer before my senior year, and Baylee's aunt is a boss lady at a nursing home, so I got a job at her nursing home and I took care of the elderly patients there. Being a CNA is some very grungy work, and it takes a very strong person to do that type of work, but I was going to go to the schooling that we have here for nursing. And I think, to me, it's very important that if you are going to be a nurse in a nursing home, that you have your CNA license. I don't think nurses should work in nursing homes if they don't have their CNA license, because they don't understand how hard it is to be a CNA and how busy they are and what they have to do. And nurses just don't get that in a CNA. They don't get that in a nursing home asset. Not saying you have to be a nurse, you don't have to be a CNA to be a nurse, just in general, but I think if you're going to work in a nursing home, then you definitely need to have that experience, just so you know where the CNAs are coming from. And then once I graduated, I got my CMA, and that is a certified medical assistant. So I passed all the medication for the elderly patients. I was in charge of all their narcotics and ordering them and getting all of the dosages right from the pharmacist. So that is what I did. I worked until I was around 5.5 months pregnant, but I had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to work on time, and that just does not agree well when you're pregnant and you're exhausted. And yeah. What are some things that I like to do with Stratton for fun? So Stratton is a very busy boy. Like, he doesn't like to sit still very long. He's not the type of baby or toddler to sit and watch a movie. He will sit and watch one movie, and that is Secret Life of Pets 2. That is the only movie that he will sit and watch. Now that he's getting a little bit older, he is venturing out and wanting to do things by himself. That does make my mama heart sad, but he is getting to that point. So I have gotten him into a lot of sensory boxes. We will do the rice box. We have done the cotton ball box, and you just put things in there with cotton balls, and it's just, you know, getting him used to touching cotton balls. We love to be outside. He could literally live outside, so if it is nice, then that's where we spend most of our days. We have gotten him into coloring, so he really enjoys coloring, but honestly, he just enjoys putting the crowns back in the box, taking them out back in the box, because he really likes to put things inside of things. So yeah, that's how we keep him busy, and that's where I'm gonna end it, you guys. Thank you so much for asking questions over on Instagram. If you're not following me, then you need to. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up so that I can do more of these in the future. Don't forget to subscribe to the Wilhelm fam so you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.